Lord, please order my steps in your word. Give me strength to preach one more time. I ask in Jesus' name.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. Sing, man.
Praise God for these men who sing out of the one of their soul. What a blessing it is to have these men lead us today in our worship experience. I want to ask again, just a reminder before I preach, to remind us, if you can, will come with us Tuesday over to Liberty Prayer Chapel. And we want to be a blessing and we want to be blessed. Amen? Again, our text is Psalms 139. In particular, verse 14, that you heard read already. Verses 1 through 5, I believe, is what he read to us. And if you were to read that and take some time looking at that, you'll see quite a bit of it's rich with preaching material, rich with life-giving material. And so I want to just go back and just say a little bit about what I said last week. When I talked today about stir up the you inside of you. Stir up the you inside of you. You do know that you live inside of you, right? And you do realize that sometimes you have to talk to you. Because most of the time, if you listen to what other folks say, they may down the you. And so it's necessary that you learn to talk to you. Somebody didn't get that. You have to learn how to talk to yourself. You have to learn how to talk to yourself and lift your own self up. Do you not know that you can solve many of your issues if you would just talk to yourself for a few minutes? You're trying to talk to everybody else, but I want to tell you this morning, stir up the you that's in you. The psalmist here says, he starts out by acknowledging the fact, listen, that God knows you. I mentioned that last Sunday. I want to hit it one more time. Just tell somebody, God knows you. But the psalmist says, you know my down sitting and my uprising. You understand my thoughts so far off. You know where I'm going before I get there. You know what I'm thinking before I think it. And what the psalmist really says is that God knows you intimately. Jeremiah says like this, for I know the thoughts I have towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. The Lord speaks to Jeremiah and says, Jeremiah, I know you. I want to help somebody out this morning. Because some of you think that what happened last night, God didn't know. Sometimes we think about what happened just this morning that God didn't know. But God knows everything about you. And it's senseless for you to try to hide from God. You will run yourself crazy trying to hide from God. For God knows you before you even thought about your hiding place. As a matter of fact, y'all know we were children to play hide and go seek. Well, let me just tell you, God's already in your hiding place while you seeking it out. He's already there. And when he get there, he's going to say, hello, I'm here. But you know, the amazing thing about it is in spite of the fact that he knows me intimately, in spite of the fact that he knows my uprising and my downfall, in spite of that, he still loves me. Look at somebody and say, he still loves me. He loves me. He loves me in spite of what I'm doing. God committed his love toward us in that while we were what? God Almighty, what's one of my favorite verses? That God loved me even when he knew that I was messing up. He loved me so much so that he gave his son Jesus to die for me. Now, brothers and sisters, don't you know before you did whatever you're doing, before you thought whatever you're thinking, that Jesus died for your sins? Isn't it wonderful to know that no matter how bad the world said you are, no matter what they call you, God says, I still love you. Just look at somebody and say, God knows. And he still loves you. God Almighty. But listen, not only God know you, the people know you. Yeah. The people, look at somebody and say, the people know you. Paul writes to Timothy and says to Timothy, stir up the gift which is in you already by the laying on of hands, putting on my hands. Listen. Paul writes to Timothy and says, I know you got something in you, and I want you to stir it up. Just look at somebody and say, the people know you. Now, since the people know you, listen, the people will label you. The people will label you and call you whatever they want to call you. And the people have a way of stirring up stuff in you. The only problem with that is, most of the time when people stir, they stir up the bad stuff in you. They want to remind you of where you're from. Can anything good come out of Louisville? The people will remind you of where you came from. I had another folk remind me, you were Annie B's boy. People will look at you and call you by your name and tell you where you're from and tell you and infer to you that you have no business being wherever you're trying to go. The people will stir up the bad stuff in you. The people know who you are. But can you just for a moment look at the people who are saying something to you and remind them what I just said? God knows me. I don't care if you do know who I am. God knows me. And because God knows me, I'm going to do what this text says. This text says to you to stir up the gift. See, don't let other folks stir up stuff. They'll stir up mess. You stir up the good stuff. Well, listen, you can't stir up good stuff in you until I get to this point here. You need to know you. God knows you. The people knows you. But look at somebody and say, you need to know you. Oh, it's right there in the text, verse 14. I will praise thee, O God, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And this month, as we talk about self-esteem, I want to tell you, you got to speak to yourself and stir up the good inside you and tell yourself every time somebody starts to put you down, you stir up the fact, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Yes. You got to stir up some stuff. Listen. God speaks to Israel. He says, and the Lord will open unto you his good treasure. You shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. God says, look, I'm going to make you a lender and not a borrower. Look at somebody and say, I might be in debt right now, but God says, I'm going to one day lend for money. I might be headed to bankruptcy, headed out of bankruptcy, but whatever the case, God said, I'm going to be a lender and not a borrower. Listen, it says this, and the Lord will make you the head and not the tail. Look at somebody say, I'm the head, I ain't the tail. Look, you ought to be sick and tired of being the tail to everything. You ought to be sick and tired of being the last at everything. You ought to look down at yourself and say, self, you are better than that. Tell yourself, self, get on up because you are the head and not the tail. Am I talking to somebody this morning? You came here this morning you surprised yourself by being here. But the Lord wants you here this morning to hear me tell you, look, baby, stop down yourself and call yourself what God called you. Call yourself the head and not the tail. Now listen, after you call yourself the head and not the tail, listen, then you got to start acting like you're the head and not the tail. Too many of us can never become the head because we're too busy acting like the donkey. I'm off my nose for a moment, but let me just run down this rabbit trail just for a moment. Look, you can never become the lender when you're always spending what you ought to be lending. That's acting like the donkey. Now, I can't get no help in here this morning. You cannot be the head when you're satisfied being the tail all the time. Some of y'all are getting that after a while. Y'all are getting it on your way home. Stop being the tail. Stop just being. Come on. You are more than the tail. And if anybody want to relegate you to simply being the tail, tell them, no. Look above my neck. Y'all get it in the car. But you can't be what God says you need to be until you decide that I'm going to be what God called me to be. Now look now. Now we skip this part. Go back to the left side. Go back. Go up one more. Right there. If, y'all see that if you heed the commandments of the Lord your God. We want to tell folk I'm the head, not the tail. I'm the lender, not the bar. But we skip the part. We got to heed the commandments of the Lord. You got to listen and do what God says do. You cannot be the head. You cannot be the lender when you're following everybody else except what God said do. Look at somebody and say, I need to know who I am. Never before has this been so important than this month of February as we discuss and as we understand who we are from a heritage point of view. I want to tell you, and I said so many times, listen, my friends, when I encourage you to take pride in yourself, when I encourage you to take pride in the fact that you are black, that you are African American, when I encourage you to take that kind of pride, we are not putting anybody down. If you have to put other folk down in order for you to be good, there's something wrong with you. I think there's enough room for everybody to be good. Listen, I don't have to put nobody down for me to say I'm happy, I'm proud of who I am. So stir up, look at somebody tell them, stir up the you inside of you. Ask me how you're going to do it. I'm glad you're asking. Give me about 10 minutes and I'll be done. How are you going to do it? The first thing I want to tell you is this. If you're going to stir up the you that's in you, you got to watch who you're hanging with. Let me back up and hit that real hard again. Watch who you're hanging with. If you hang, I ain't said this in a long time, y'all. If you hang with 9 broke friends, you will soon be. Look, if you keep hanging around broke folk who are broke, busted, and disgusted, guess what you're going to be? Broke, busted, and disgusted. Because look, you got to watch who you're hanging with. You will soon be number 10. So watch who you're hanging with. Are you hanging with complaining people? God had just delivered Israel, brought them out of bondage, got them out here on their way to the promised land. On the way to the promised land, these folks are complaining. And listen to Exodus 16:3. There are a whole lot of stuff in there in their complaining I can pull out, but this really says it all. Listen again. They are out of the wilderness, they're out of Egypt, where they had been slaves, on their way to the promised land, and they had the audacity to say, if we only had died by the Lord's hand in Egypt, there we sat around pots of meat and ate all the food we wanted. But you brought us out here in this desert to starve this entire church to death. Look, they were enslaved. Lord, help us get out of slavery. Lord, help us. We tired of this slavery. They on the way to the promised land, and all they're doing now, well, we're back in Egypt. Well, at least we had some food. But you were a slave. Well, at least had some onions to eat, but you were a slave. You're on your way somewhere, and you're complaining. Are you hanging around folk who are complaining all the time? Listen, complaining people are ungrateful people. The reason why folk complain so much is because, I believe, they are ungrateful. Now, stick a pin there for a moment, because I want to tell you, somebody's already saying, I got an email. Well, sometimes complain, you ain't going to make it better if you don't complain. Look, I'm not talking about constructive criticism. I'm not talking about trying to make things better. I'm talking about somebody always complaining. It's too hot. It's too cold. It's too dry. It's too wet. And always complaining. They are ungrateful people. The Israelites were showing their ingratitude for the Lord bringing them out of slavery by complaining about, we ain't got no food. Then let me cut across the fence a little bit. The Lord gave them manna, bread from heaven. Then it's like, well, we ain't got no meat now. The Lord gave them quail. They had so much quail, they started throwing up for you. Oh, Lord, we got too much quail, Lord. Well, look, you can always find, complaining people can always find a reason to complain because they are ungrateful. Oh, but the psalmist says like this in Psalm 34, I will bless the Lord and his praise shall continue to be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord, and the humble shall hear thereof. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I'm looking at one or two folk in here this morning. I wish I could just get you to stop complaining and begin to say, I'm just going to bless the Lord. It's not what I want, but I'm going to bless the Lord. It's not what it's going to be tomorrow. I'm going to bless the Lord today. Look, if you learn to bless the Lord right now in your current situation, you will find out that it's not quite as bad as you thought it was. Can I get one or two folk right now? Just come on and bless the Lord with me. Oh, bless the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. I just need somebody to say, I'm not going to keep on complaining. I'm going to bless the Lord. Oh, magnify the Lord. Come on and give God some praise. If you want to stir up the you inside of you, stop hanging around complaining for. Yes. You want to stir up the you in you, stop hanging around complaining for. Well, are you hanging around sinning for? They're going to say like this, birds of a feather. And so you got to check your company. Because if you hang around them long enough, you'll be just like them. 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, bad company corrupts good character. I'm going to slow here and I'll make this point real clear to you. When you hang around bad company, it causes you to get bad. If you hang around folk, let me use this real personal example. When I went in the Army in 77, I got stationed in Anchorage, Alaska. All the way from Alabama to Anchorage, Alaska. Man, I grew up in the church. I knew what it was like to go to church. But when I got to my new duty station, I hung around folk that didn't go to church. Am I talking to somebody? I'm trying to tell you, if you hang around folk who don't do what you do, you will soon find yourself doing what they do. I found myself saying some of the same words they were saying. And I had to catch my mouth and put my hand on my own mouth. And I said to myself, I remember the night very well, sitting there, and I said something, and I had to look around. Herman Scott said that? And I got busy, hear me, I got busy trying to find me a place where I could worship and I could grow in the Lord. Be careful of hanging around folk who are not concerned about the Lord. Psalms 1 says, if you want to stir up the youth that's in you, Psalm 1 says like this, blessed is a man who walk not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. Y'all got it? If you do that, if you don't hang around folk who are scorning the word of God, who are doing opposite of what God's told you to do, then you shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. You want to stir up the youth in you? Watch who you are hanging with. I gotta run. Go to the next one. I gotta run. I spent too much time on that. Let me end by asking this. Are you hanging with sinning people? Are you hanging with complaining people? If you are, change it. I want to ask you, are you hanging with praising people?
All right now.
Habakkuk says, although the fig tree shall not blossom, there shall be fruit on the vine, the labor of the olive shall fail, the field shall yield no meat, the flock shall be cut off from the fold, and there shall be no herd in the stalls. Yet will I rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the God of my salvation. Habakkuk says, regardless of what's going on, I'm going to give God some praise. I'm almost done. I want to ask you, if you want to change your situation, if you want to feel better about yourself, if you want to lift yourself up to what they called you, they have labeled you, I want you to change that label. They've said you weren't going to be this, you weren't going to be that, change that label. Watch who you're hanging with. So how do you change who you're hanging with? How do you get to hang with praising people? First of all, reduce your circle. Look at somebody and tell them to reduce your circle. Everyone cannot go with you to your place of success. Everybody can't go with you. Everybody don't want to go with you to your place of success. So you got to reduce your circle. Oh, I'm looking at somebody right now. I'm looking at somebody now. You know you need to reduce some of the folk around you. Look. In Genesis 22:5, Abraham is about to go worship. He's at the base of Mount Moriah. He says to his servants, you all stay here with the donkeys while me and the boy go over yonder to worship. We will worship and then we'll come back to you. I wish I had one or two folk here that got that this morning. If you're going to stir up the you that's inside of you, you got to say, everybody can't go with me on this journey. I've got some friends and I've got some acquaintances. And I've got to leave my acquaintances back here with the donkeys for a while. Because all they want to do is play with the donkeys. All they want to do is be the tail. All they want to do is be the ball. Oh, but I'm trying to finish. After you reduce your circle, relook your gratitude. Yes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that's within me. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and forget not his benefits. He forgives my iniquities and he heals my diseases. He redeems my life from destruction. He crowns me with loving kindness and tender mercies. He satisfies my mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like an eagle. Psalm 103 says, oh, bless the Lord, oh my soul. I'm trying to tell you, when you want to stir up the you in you, you got to start looking for a reason to give God praise. Anybody want to stir up the you in you? Then I dare you to start looking around at yourself and say, self, what do you have to be grateful for? I know it's not what you want. I know it's not all that you used to have. But can I tell you right now, you just ought to give God praise and thank God well as they are. Can I tell you this morning that the Lord is looking for a few folk who, regardless of whatever is going on, don't mind giving God the praise. For it seems as though the least little thing will knock off our praise. We get mad at somebody, we ain't praising no more. We get up, we lose a quarter, we lose a dollar, we ain't praising no more. But can I tell you, you ought to look the devil in the eye and say, devil, I woke up this morning with my mind on Jesus. I woke up this morning with my mind to come to church, and I will not allow you to stop me from praising. So you just ought to make the devil real mad. Make the devil real mad and give God your best praise. Come on, give God your best praise. Thank you, sir. was made flesh and dwelt among us. We beheld his glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and full of truth. Can I tell you, I worship him because he's Jesus. I worship him because he's Jesus. Mary's baby. He's Jesus. Lamb that was slain. I worship him because he's Jesus. Doctor in the sick room. Anybody know him? I worship him because he's Jesus. Lawyer in a courtroom. I feel pretty good right about here. I worship him because he's Jesus. Bread when I'm hungry. I worship him because he's Jesus. Water when I'm thirsty. Yeah! I worship him because of who he is. But can I close and tell you, I worship him because of what he did. One Friday on a hill called Calvary. One Friday on a hill called Calvary. They whipped him all over the hill. They took him, laid him down on an old rugged cross, took nails and nailed his feet, took nails and nailed his hands. I worship him because he never said a mumbling word. He let him nail his hands, nail his feet. That's all right. Seeming as though I can see him laying there saying, just keep on nailing. Do whatever you want to do. But whatever you do, don't lift me up. But they messed around and they lifted him up. They lifted him up. Yeah! He hung, bled and died. That's why I worship him, because he died on Friday, stayed in the grave Friday and Saturday. But the real reason I worship him is because it was early. It was early. Sunday morning, he got up, all power in his hand. You need to stir up the you that's inside of you. Jesus died and rose again so that you can stir up the you inside of you. There's no need for you to walk around feeling dejected, feeling unimportant. No need for you to walk around with a low self-esteem. Stir up the you inside of you. Don't let the devil keep telling you that you're nobody. Stir up the stuff inside of you. Regardless of the label the world has put on you, know that Jesus says, you're fearfully, wonderfully made. God didn't make no junk. We're standing to our feet now.